All right, fabulous. Good morning, good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to today's community briefing. My name is Gregory Sneed, and we are glad you're joining us today. It is the 2nd of February. Yep, 2nd of February in 2023. January is gone. So we're now 1/3 of our way through the first quarter. So if you got first quarter goals, it's time to make it happen. Our guest today is Pastor William D. Smart Jr., and he'll be sharing some wonderful information with us shortly. Again, my name is Gregory Sneed. The name of my company is Lifesaver Financial Services. I help my clients keep more of the money they make and get them reacquainted with their money. I just redid my website. It just went live last night, so I was working hard on that at lifesaverfinancial.com. And now, my pleasure to welcome to the virtual stage the queen of our community briefing, Miss Crystal Mitchell.
Welcome, 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 everyone. I want to wish everyone a happy Black History Month. Although as Black people, we celebrate 365 days a year. This happens to be one of the months, the shortest one, of course, of the year, but of the year. But it is the month that we celebrate and pay homage to ourselves and our ancestors that have made so many amazing accomplishments that have gotten us here. So please make this the most active, productive month of the year, and make sure you're honoring and posting and those heroes in your family and those heroes that have made a difference in our community and in the history of who we are. So we're kicking ours off today with Pastor William D. Smart Jr. He's the president and CEO of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference of Southern California. So we are excited about that. And then on the Business Zone this Friday, we're kicking ours off with a commentary on Marcus Garvey, and we have someone coming in to talk about the auto industry and how our ancestors used their God-given skills and talents and created wealth and for us, for themselves and their families, and how they made passage from slavery to productivity in their world. So join us on Friday, but join us today and continue to join us. So this community briefing inspired by me and three years ago, guys, in March, 3 years ago. And it was here to bring information to us in real time from those of us and from those of our stakeholders in our community that are making things happen. And so that you will know what is going on in the time that is going on and not when it's too late. So, it is powered and sponsored by Recycling Black Dollars and the BBA, and our financial sponsors are Southern California Edison, Wells Fargo Bank, SoCal Gas, and our newest sponsor, and I think if I move to the left or the right, it's in there, is Pacific PPR. Check all that, it's back there, it's behind me. So we want to thank everyone. Thank you guys for attending. Continue to come join us, share, go over to our community briefing YouTube channel, and please subscribe. We want 100 subscribers by the end of this month. I know y'all can do that. That is not hard. And so we're asking you to do that. Great content over there. And so with that, I am going, and I want to thank our team, Mr. Gregory Sneed, Mr. Stephen Turner, who makes all of our guests possible. He's the producer of the program, and Ms. Robin Billups. She's out getting her health care right now. So this is our amazing team and myself. So thank you guys. And with that, I'm gonna turn it back over to Greg or Steve. Stephen, you wanna now or later? Later? Okay, great.
Thank you, Crystal. So welcome back. A few housekeeping items. Please keep yourself on mute during the show. And if you have questions, put them in the chat, and then we'll have some open Q&A using the hand raise reaction button. So just appreciate your cooperation with that. Today, we have Pastor William D. Smart. He is currently the president and CEO of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference of Southern California. My introduction to SCLC would have been from my dad. And my dad, I guess you guys don't know this, but my dad worked for Belafonte in the 50s and 60s. So Belafonte was very active with Dr. King and the movement through SCLC long time ago. In fact, that started before I was born. So he has been with the SCLC since 2013, so a little over 10 years now. He's also the executive director for Hurting and Hungry Charities. He is co-pastor at Christ Liberation Ministries. He has history with the Los Angeles Alliance for a New Economy. He was director of training and outreach. He was national director for African American clergy with the Hillary Clinton for president. He was senior pastor of Phillips Temple CME Church. Before that, he was also the deputy director, Division of Community Services with the Democratic National Committee. And he was also a senior pastor at St. Paul CME Church. Was that located here? Where was that located?
Jackson, Tennessee.
Okay, because I didn't recognize that name prominent from Los Angeles. Jackson, Tennessee. Okay. He has his Master's of Divinity from Duke University. He has a Bachelor's of Science in Social Work from Miles College. We didn't get a chance to chat beforehand, so I have no idea where he grew up. He'll share that with us, where he was born and raised, and how long he's been here in Southern California. So please welcome to the virtual stage, Pastor William D. Smart, Jr.
Thank you very much, Brother Sneed, and to Sister Mitchell and Brother Turner and all the other prominent people that are involved in this movement. And, you know, it's just time for a community briefing at this second day of Black History. And like you said, we're really not celebrating the month anymore. We're celebrating 365 days out of the year. You know, we cannot be relegated to just a month anymore. In fact, a month that only has 28 days, but it's important to emphasize us during this month, tell our stories a different way. So it's just good to be here. I'm answering Dr. Sneed. I hail from a place called Bridgeport in Stratford, Connecticut on the East Coast. And I grew up there, and in 1968, April the 4th, 1968, when Dr. King was, his life was sacrificed, I was just 9 years old, but it impacted me so that I went into the ministry at 9 years old because I was just moved and I wanted to follow in his directions, but I had the anointing of the Lord on me early to do his business. And so I have strived all of my life. And 10 years ago, in January of 2013, I ascended to the president and CEO of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and that has been a lifetime goal. And already, you know, and it's taken me 10 years almost just to get up, in terms of just to understand and just to put it on the footing that it should be on. And it's not there yet. But with your help and others, I think we can get SCLC back to where Dr. King had a dream for it to be. Now, one of the first bedrock programs I tried to institute 10 years ago, it just didn't go over because it just wasn't the time. I didn't know the people like I know them now. But I was always concerned about Blacks, African Americans, and wealth and business development. And in fact, in 2013, when I became president, the wealth gap was tremendous. The wealth gap was for every African American family. You won't believe this, but the Pew Foundation came out with that year and said that the average Black family had $13,000 worth of wealth, while the average white family had $97,000 worth of wealth. Now that to me, that was just tremendous, and it was despicable. And I really said that we have to develop the type of programs and relationships that we can build wealth together. And two things. Number one, I still feel more than ever before that we have to take our businesses and we have to invest in them, not just 1 week out of the year, not with some traditional programs of emphasizing them, but we have to inculcate into ourselves and to our children that Black businesses are important, and that it's a fallacy to believe that the white man's rice is whiter, his sugar is sweeter. No, his water is pure. Absolutely not. We can produce that because we have come from producers all the way back to Africa. Our businesses can succeed with us investing in them, us going to them. The day before Brother Turner called me or emailed me about coming on to this, it was a strange day, but that day I went to eat twice, and they were both at, of course, Black restaurants. But I went to this Five and Dime store over on Washington Boulevard, mom and pop Black businesses, and I did half of our grocery shopping there. And then I realized that day, all of my money from that I got in went to our own businesses. And I know people have programs, our own, or shop with us, but that's just dressing. If you're not doing it, if you're not executing it, if you're not just saying that. So that's the first thing. We build wealth by supporting our own. We go back to the African barter system, the African tradition, the tribal system, where we invest in each other. And that brought me up to the second point, is that Black investment clubs are another way that we build wealth, but we take it up a notch. We just don't say everybody we need to just put $10 a month into some. We need to if you can develop a club where you can put in $50 a week, $100 a week. And, let's build together and see something and see the reward from what we have done. That's really important. That closes the economic gap. When we got the wealth ourselves. To many instances, I'm talking to the choir today, but I want to inspire the choir. I want the choir to get the message in a way they've never gotten it before, and say, hey, we're going to go out here and we're going to do this thing. We're going to have our own investments. We're going to have our own, so that we can see and buy some property and buy some businesses and buy something and go into something. When I was interested, it was, Brother Sneed, it was Jackson, Tennessee. The Lord gave me a vision one day when I was in Jackson, Tennessee. And I was the president at that time of the NAACP there. And there was a major grocery store across the street from an area that was a recreational and mega of events, places going on. We have Black dentist offices there. We have the big African-American resource center there. There was also a construction, not construction. There was just a lot of businesses there and a lot of things going on there with health and everything. And I had a meeting there with some groups and people, and I said, we need to develop our own cooperative investment program. And so everyone bought into it. And I said, we're going to buy that store across the street. They said, the store's not for sale. I said, and all of this. And so anyway, we went and we started putting money in a cooperative, putting money in a pool. We just put it up. It only got to about $40,000. And then something happened and we all they all broke off and people weren't participating and everything. They gave everybody back their money. And I had members, I said in a year, that happened in March. It happened, it really happened in March of 1994. I remember. And then March of 1955, the owners of the store called me and said they wanted to sell to me. I couldn't believe it, because we had, the fund was, broken, and we didn't have a commitment. But it just showed me that sometimes when you start on a mission, you start on the road, you just hang in there, you keep it going, and at the proper time, God is going to move. God was ready to move, but we weren't in a position. And we weren't in a position. And a lot of times we have to overcome that and just say, if there's a dream one of us has, let us work together to fulfill it, because we don't know what's going to happen down the line. We don't know what doors are going to open, what opportunities are going to present themselves, so that we were able to have the type of economics for our community and our family that is necessary.
Amen.
Martin Luther King, I know my time, I'm timing, so I got 3 minutes. Martin Luther King realized in 1965, after the Voting Rights Act has passed, that what they were getting ready to go into housing. They were talking about housing discrimination. But the issue was, he realized that he was talking about poverty and different things affecting our community, but the community was not, they were getting freedoms, but they weren't not getting economic stability and economic benefits. They were we were a poverty-stricken community. That's when he shifted, and he started going into economics and talking about that, you can't go through a door if you don't have the money to help you to stay there. You can't buy a house if you don't have the wages to keep you in that house. Civil rights shifted. And all of my life, I realized that we need freedoms. We need anti-discrimination laws. We need police brutality laws. But at the same time, we need economic empowerment. And you get that economic empowerment from working together collaboratively. You get it from investing in each other's businesses and supporting each other's businesses. Same story. But we get that power from deciding on ourselves that we're going to do what is necessary to build businesses. When I close this, when you mentioned in my resume that I had worked with Hillary Clinton. Well, Hillary Clinton's first run for president, a lot of African-American males and females were involved in her campaign, that were involved in the campaign of Bill Clinton, her husband. And one of the things that a group of us sat down one day and we decided that this time around, we really thought she was going to beat Barack Obama at the time. And we said, this time around, we know the government. We know the ins and outs of the government. And we're going to work to make sure that there are a lot of business millionaires that come in that get vending opportunities with the government. And that happening, we're going to position them in such a way that they will guarantee jobs for young people, jobs in the inner city. We had our own black plan. That was in government. Well, Barack Obama won, and that, the plan didn't go that way at all. But you need the third thing to make us successful. We need people who have a big vision for our race, love themselves, and is ready to do something powerfully for our race. Thank you.
And are you ready for the invitation to discipleship?
I'm ready for the invitation to join SCLC.
There you go. Thank you very much. You unpacked a lot of things. So there are a lot of things that we need to do, and self-awareness is key. So we first off, we thank you for the service that you are bringing to the community, and applaud you, because a lot of times people don't have the opportunity to step up and speak out, towards power. So, we applaud and commend you for the actions that you are doing, and the greatest is yet to come.
Thank you, Brother Steve. Thank you.
Let's see, Crystal, I didn't get a chance to monitor the chat. Do we have any questions that we missed?
I didn't see any questions, but I want to say, I that's my soapbox. I preach this every single day, and we do have to invest in ourselves. We can't expect someone else to invest in us if we're not invested in ourselves. So you preached it, Pastor. Thank you so much. I'm going to join the SCLC because that is absolutely right. And we have to do this not for ourselves. We have to do this for the generation that's coming under us. My heart goes out for those young people. This Melissa, she's a young person here. There are others, Jessica. These people need us. We're on the other side. We're in the second act. We got what we got, and we're going to take out what we're going to take out. But they need us so that they can be where we are, so they can be at our age having these conversations with the younger generation. So it's so important that we, at this point, give back to our younger generation. We owe it to them. We're their elders, and it's our responsibility to make sure we pass on the tools that they need so that they can survive in this country, especially, and in the world beyond this country. But this country is a hard place to be right now, and they cannot do it by themselves.
So, Sister Barbara, Sister Crystal, I want, and Brother Sneed and others, I like to say that the SCLC would like to partner with you, recycling back Black business, recycling Black dollars, and others, the community briefing. We want to partner with you to develop a community fund. Everyone, technically it's just like this. For 1 year, we invest whatever, maybe $100 per person for a month, or $10 per person, whatever. And we work out everything. I got a person that can work out everything. And for 1 year, we invest in this fund. And then we come together. Everyone who makes an investment is an investor. We come together in a year's time and say, we've accumulated this amount of money. What are we going to do with it? And if it's just to invest in cryptocurrency and invest buy a piece of property, is something so that we have more than a pronouncement. We have an announcement that we have done something significant for our community. I like y'all to work with me with this.
Sounds good. Okay. We'll have some conversation, because we have to be intentional. That has to be our word for 2022. We have to be intentional. I know the theme for Black History Month this month is Black resistance. I know you come from that space, so that's what we have to be. And what we've seen in the last couple of days, last month, with Tyree and the many others there. I just read this morning, a councilwoman, the first time the woman's been elected, she got murdered yesterday. I think she's back east somewhere. We don't know what the circumstances is, but I can guarantee you racism is behind it. We got to do something. We just have to. We just can't keep turning on the news and hearing these sad stories and be ready for tears and then go back to regular everyday work the next day. We just can't keep doing this.
No, we have to build our community, like you said, intentionally, but we have to make the moves. Some of them are old moves, cooperative economics goes all the way back to Africa. If it's that, but it worked then and it's working now. And there are places in the country where it has worked. It's just time. In this setting, if you were a different setting, I would talk about more economic justice work of Dr. King. But right now it's time for us to get busy with doing the business. so we can have a community. We can buy something. We own something collaboratively.
I agree. Greg,
Pastor
another
Smart?
question.
Yeah, Pastor Smart, can you, well, we got a question there, but if you could just give us sort of a brief summary of where SCLC was, because it was formed, the name changed a few times, if I recall, and, you know, was responsible for a lot of the protests and the March on Washington. What is the agenda now? What's the current state of SCLC from a national standpoint and here in the LA area?
Right now, our national president is in Memphis. He's been in Memphis 2 weeks now, calling out the racism in that community. And his definition of he's calling it racism because you know, the black officers have been caught up in self-hatred. He went on self-hatred that they would do their own, but there's another assassination involved in that. One of those officers were involved with a woman, and he got that was a professional. That was a hit on Brother Tyree, and no other terms. It was an assassination, a hit on him. But anyway, we're fighting for justice there because that's injustice. Locally here, our work is in 3 areas: educationally, work, and then the second part is working on jobs. We work very close with labor unions here so they can open up opportunities for African Americans to get jobs. We know a lot of times we're protesting at hotels where African Americans have been discriminated against, and we've had a major breakthrough with one of those, and there are more people going back to work and African Americans going back to work at that hotel. That's something we worked on this year. We have an extensive health project with our women of the SCLC, and they have had vaccinated a lot of people. They're doing their health. We're trying to put people back in a position to be healthy again. And then through one of our arms, our Hurting and Hungry, we feed people, but at the same time, we understand that when you're feeding homeless and houseless people, you're really putting a band-aid over cancer. So we're getting ready to move to an age, another level where we are offering the type of job training and getting them into jobs. And a lot of this, you know, is going to be in cooperation with the mayor, because we are believing in her program of getting the houseless off. So SCLC is working real closely with her there to not only get people into homes, but get them into jobs or educational opportunities or training, so that so working with the unions and everything, we're going to be setting up a vast training program to ensure that African Americans could get in, because Mayor Bass has just said there's about 10,000 jobs that the city is not hired for yet. And so we're going to be working to get our people in those jobs. So that's just a small. We also, anything about voting, you'll see us on the front line as usual. That's one of the bedrocks of our organization. And so we're constantly pushing. We're bringing Senator Warnock to the city on April 15th. And, you know, that comes out of his election, comes out of a lot of things that happened. But one of it, we have several labor unions went to Georgia. Our young people wrote letters 3 different times to Georgia. You know, our young dreamers for MLK Dreamers for Justice, all of that took place. So we're bringing him to town so that we can salute him and he can salute us for the work that we've done jointly together. And so you'll hear more about that. We hope that you will participate in that luncheon.
Oh, muted there. Thank you very much. I have a question here from someone in our audience here. As someone from the younger generation, how do we go about bringing resources back to our community? That's part one. And then she says, I own a Black business and find it difficult since resigning from her job to get funding. And she's trying to operate without stress. So Jessica, I know for certain we should partner you with Colette Moore with PCR. But how do you respond to that there, Pastor Smart?
I think, you know, not more than just inspiration, because she took the chance leave her job to go to create a business. So that's something that I'm very sensitive about for her, to make sure. I just like to have a one-on-one with her at some time and tell her about some resources and tell her about a way to do some things to get some people in her business. What type of business? I love to know what type of business it is. And if it's a business that we can, we can have a day. There was a Black lady who owned one of the grocery outlets in out in not Torrance, out in I don't know, out there somewhere. I forgot. But anyway, we had a special day for her, and then every organization started buying their turkeys from her for Thanksgiving. The elected officials, we just blew her up. And then from that, she ended up getting a bigger store in Long Beach. And so, I still get some turkeys and stuff but there's ways we can target businesses for a particular time, blow them up. You know how they have those things when they say, let's go have a flash mob. We did our own economic blow up for them. Tell Jessica, reach out to me, 213 and anyone else, 213-268-3838. Wait a minute, 213-268-3082. Just reach out to me.
And Colette, I'm sure you're going to reach out there as well. If you haven't, I saw you typing there. So, Pastor Smart, the doors of the church are open. Tell us about Christ Liberation Ministries. My
senior pastor is my wife, and we are virtual. We usually meet in Leimert Park, but we've been virtual the last couple of years. She's a dynamic pastor, and she really affects women and men. And it's just a time where the Holy Spirit moves, a different type of different type of church. We're a different type of church. For Bible study last night, we had I was playing John Coltrane, and we were talking about Black history and how that related, and people were telling stories of their life. It's a time to really give a big witness.
And share with us your wife's name.
Pastor Tambakile Crystal Coleman Smart.
Oh my goodness, she got a name, including my part of mine.
Yes. And so you can reach her at the same. You can reach me at the same number. I can turn you. I would love to turn you on to the church. We're virtual every Sunday.
Awesome.
And one more, Crystal. Finally, Hurting and Hungry Charities. Tell us about that.
Hurting and Hungry Charities is a charity that was founded by Rosie Jackson in 1986. We provide meals once a week to their groceries. We provide them to different areas, different churches at sites. There are sites, and we have a huge Christmas toy giveaway, a turkey giveaway. We're going to have a Black History Love giveaway this month. We're going to have we've given away bicycles throughout the year. One time we had over 19,000 pair of Von Dutch shoes, and we gave them away to 122 charities around the city as we distribute that. So that, and we pick up food from high-end grocery stores and we take it to shelters and different things like that. But again, we're making the transition. We're going to still do that, but we're making the transition to see how we can get some of those people off of Skid Row into not Skid Row, but there are pockets around the city, that there are homeless encampments, and we want to get some of those people into jobs. So that's what we're looking at right now.
At the end of the show, we hope that you'll pray us out. There won't be a collection, everybody, so don't get scared. Crystal, over to you.
But we are going to talk about how we all collaborate together. But I love where you're going with this. Pastor Smart is on the collaboration, and with that, Ted, you and Pastor need to really talk, because if he's talking about the homeless, we do know that there are a lot of other issues besides the fact that they're on the street because of lack of funds. There's addiction and disease and things like that, and that's your ministry. So Ted says they have a number of unapologetic Black nonprofits in the city, and they're doing some of the very things that you're speaking of, Pastor Smart. How do we leverage resources and efforts in the same cause? And this is what I preach this all the time. This is really the inspiration behind the community briefing. It's about us collaborating together, using our massive power collectively, as opposed to each one of us working in our individual silos and making small progress as to making massive progress with all of us working together. So right now I can see you two getting together. There's a lot of things that you guys can do together to make a big impact, especially Pastor with you working with Mayor Bass on the unhoused. And we do know, Ted, I don't know where you're in that space, but with the addiction issues and the mental health issues, Yeshiva, you're there. I think there's another young lady here in the mental health issue space there, the NLP. You guys all need to get together, because we know that's a massive part of the homeless, the unsheltered, is we got to deal with our mental health issues. Also, and Jonathan, you said this. I heard that about the young man and the hit put out on Tyree and the police officer because somebody was messing with his ex-woman. We need healing, people. We are broken. And all of our issues come back to the fact that we are broken. We have to heal. So yes, we have
our women have a powerful healing circles, a wellness ministry. But what Sister Crystal, what I would like to do is, Ted, you got my number. If you would call me so we could set up a time with all of those that Sister Crystal just mentioned, that we all can have a conversation, maybe on Zoom, and just talk about what we're doing. You said, how do we work together? I don't need to invade your spaces. You already got it going on. You know, we could recognize each other's areas and work cooperatively together, but we don't have to run that. You know, I really believe in that, because we build a lot of coalitions that way.
Okay, so Yeshiva, you got his number. Melissa, you seem to be in that space. Y'all got each other's number. Then y'all come back to us and tell us how you need us to help. We need to bring a space, whatever we need, but y'all start it and we can take it from there. But we have to start working together. Stephen, you have your finger up like at church.
No. Pastor Smart, please stay on the line. We have a special guest who wants to share some information that ties into economic and civil justice. Colette Moore.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Thank you. And thank you so much, Pastor Smart, for sharing that. Economic empowerment is key. And I am here today because there's a special grant program. I mean, I love this group, though. I love the community briefing and the focus on economic empowerment for our small and Black businesses in the community, plus the health information that we've been sharing as well. But economic empowerment is key. So I appreciate all of those comments today as we work to build Black wealth in our community. And thanks for sharing those statistics. I know we got a long way to go, but we're going to keep working towards the goal of minimizing that gap on family wealth. So. But the key thing today I wanted to share was economic opportunity grants. So I'm Colette Moore with our new name, PCR Business Finance. And for 45 years, PCR has been around helping underserved small businesses with lending as well as advising and technical assistance. And so I am the director of the SBDC, which is one of the programs under PCR. And we've had an SBDC for about almost 15 years now. And in this SBDC, we're one of 1,000 in the country, and we are here to provide advice, information, resources for this group. I'm always interested in making sure that any new resources that are available, that you guys are one of the first to know about them. And so we have learned, and we saw that during the pandemic, that information seems to trickle a little slow. And so as soon as I get it, I want to try to get it out to you guys. So today we just wanted to share about the opportunity grants. And if you have not seen this already, LA County has a variety of grants, but this is going to be phase 1. So they have 54 million in grant funding, and the SBDC is going to be providing the technical assistance for this program. It's all about recovery and stabilizing after the pandemic, because as we know, more Black businesses closed during the pandemic. Our Black businesses continue to struggle during the pandemic, and so that would be same for other underserved groups as well. So this particular one is a micro business grant, and it's $2,500, and it is focused on underserved communities. This is the first of many grants that will be issued by LA County. And this one, the next one is starting February 23rd, and this one covers LA City as well. So the other ones are not, may not. So they're going to be, you guys watch closely, everything will be coming out. And I want you to go and register on this site. So, but for this particular one, for the micro grant, some of you may not benefit from this, but please share it. It might be your hairstylist, your nail lady, your barbershop, whatever. There are people that can benefit from this. So, but you have to have been in business since 2019. So December 1, 2019, before the pandemic, and you have to be still operating. You have to have proof of a business license or entity formation. And this is a micro grant because it's for businesses where gross revenue does not exceed $50,000 in 2019. So even if you were hired now in 2019, if you can verify that with your taxes, you can still apply for this grant. Businesses can have no more than 5 full-time equivalent employees. They will have been negatively impacted by COVID. And there are a group of prohibited businesses on here. You guys can go and check that list. You just have to be located in LA County. You could be a street vendor, brick and mortar, home-based, mobile. So it's very open. And some I know during COVID had to be physical, brick and mortar locations. This is not one of those. And then one thing that you will need to check is that the business cannot have received the California Relief Grant. Now, I know some of you may not even remember, so you have to go through and look through your notes and make sure, because everybody was applying for so many different grants that it could be tough to remember what you even applied for, okay? Some of the documents that are going to be needed are that signed and unaltered 2019 taxes, official filings, professional licenses, and all of this is on the website. And then there are also videos and things as well. You will have to show a picture of your government ID, a valid bank account, and then also a signed application certification form. Lendistry is operating the infrastructure for getting the loans and processing the grants, and the SBDC is doing the technical assistance. So SBDC, how can we help you here? We can help you understand the basics of the grant, help you gather documents. I know some people may not know which documents are. Many folks are well abreast now because during the pandemic, some of us had to grow up and find some of these documents. And I know when I was getting certified, you got to grow up and, your business has to grow and get some help doing this stuff. But the SBDC can help you prepare application process, fill out the application, and guide you to additional services. If you know of any people that need help, there are 14 languages that are being offered for this grant as well. And then this is how to prepare. So again, please scan this. I'll put the link into the chat, and the links, all of this, website can show you how to prepare. So sorry. It can show you how to prepare and the next grant that will be coming out. And someone asked a question about, is this for not-for-profits? Not this first round, but the second round will include nonprofits as well. And then you will go first. One of the best things that you can do is if you have a question, you can go directly to the customer service line and they can help you to answer. So they're kind of doing quick triage to help you get moving really quickly on the grant. And then if you need additional advising, then they will send you to us, and that support line is available 9 to 5. And then once you submit your application, if you have trouble, there's tech support, and that takes you directly to the Lendistry folks and their particular application. But if you need help on the application side, the EOG or the Economic Opportunity Grant Support Line, and that's being operated with help from a vendor of the SBDC. Question, Tina, I see your hand.
Good morning,
Morning.
Ms. Moore. I was raising my hand because we were economically impacted by COVID, and so we had to dissolve our business, but we opened a business in December 2020. Are we able to, is there a process that we can show our 2019 tax returns and then show that we're incorporated a year later?
Not if it's a different business.
Okay, I see.
But if you'd like to check, you can call that line and check again. So feel free, Tina, that it's worth a check. But I believe that not because it's a different business, but good question. Any other questions on this grant? So please share this grant with businesses that you know. And then I also wanted to share, PCR, we have an office at Compton at the Center for Sustainable Communities. And this Saturday, we are working with the Internet for All group. And we are that group is going to be offering a $30 subsidy for lower income households. So $30 subsidy for your home internet. If you already have internet, you can get a reduction in your internet services. And then if you don't have it, is home, because that is a huge gap, is technical support in your home. So while, Johnny is doing homework and you need to be doing stuff for your business and you can't share the computer, and you've got to have a good internet and laptops, not just phone, because it's very difficult to do a lot of the things that you do for work with just a phone. And so there's a big areas in LA County that are lacking for good internet service. So we coordinated with them, and that was a question there on partnering. So we're partnering with other folks that we think can help our community. So please invite people there to that event. It's something for everyone. Will be for those that applied and are able to receive that subsidy. We also have computers that will be raffling off throughout the day. So we do have hardware available as well, in addition to software if you are available. So, or if you can register and are eligible. So I'll put that link in as well. Plus the farmers market, PCR, and we have clients that'll be at the farmers market as well. So please come out and support the other small businesses that'll be there. Then lastly, I know there was a question about, how do you grow? And so we have a full bevy of workshops that we're continuing to offer. We are trying to grow that knowledge of financials so that we can talk about money. Let's talk about money, folks, because that's how we stay in business. We've got to be profitable, and that's how we're able to grow. So please come and let us see how we can assist you. Start with our workshops, but there's also one-on-ones that are available. All of that is free of charge to you. So I hope that you guys are able to come to the event later on Saturday. And if not, please make sure to share this grant with small businesses that you know that might be eligible, and have them check their eligibility. So Tina, great question. Have them check. Call to find out, and let's see, it's worth that call, and someone will be getting back to you. Any other questions?
Thank you, Colette. I as the saying goes, I'm not just a spokesman, but I'm a client. I've used PCR extensively. The workshops are fantastic. I was able to get my business certified working through one of their consultants, and some help and assistance with the business plan and social media marketing. So PCR is fantastic. I recommend them highly. If you are in business, have a business, want to start a business, you want to connect with Colette and her group.
So yeah, Jessica, I look forward to connecting. Thank you, Gregory, for that too.
Awesome. She's awesome. She's awesome as well, guys. So, and that next level for some of you is getting your business certified so that you can do contract business. Contract business is a lot more sustainable than transactional business for you. Transactional, you have to wait for that person to come in your door. Contract says you signed a piece of paper that says they contracted for you for at least a year, and you can be guaranteed that that income is going to come into your door and you can make plans. So we all want to strive toward contractual business versus transactional business.
That would be sweet.
That would be really, really sweet. So awesome. So we got some collaboration, Ted, Yeshiva, Pastor Smart, Jessica. I want reports back next week, and somebody else was going to come back and talk to me. Ardina, are you at the Pan African this week?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody get your bottoms over to the Pan African and support the Black folks that are support with their art and their wares and the film. Everybody go over there, put some dollars over there. Anybody else got something going on that somebody can support your business during this month of Black History? If you don't support each other no other time, I need to know that you guys are doing that. And I'm going to be asking you every week who you supported this month. Is going to be like Dr. May's report on COVID, who you supported this week. It's important. And I think sometimes we just have to have accountability, guys. We just have to have somebody, right? Like your mama. I'm going to become the nagging mama. What did you do this week? Because if we don't do this, guys, it's sad. Tina, you had Black History Month must-see documentary. What is that?
Yes, a documentary that we've been working on since 2010 is up for the festival, the Pan-African Festival. So come and support the director, Kurt Kelly Khan. He's gone through his Broadway and National Black Theater tour, and now he's finally been able to package his documentary honoring his grandmother, Juanita Moore. And I got the opportunity to meet Miss Moore in 2010 at the Samuel Goldwyn Theater. She is a trailblazer for Blacks in the entertainment industry. She's a hidden figure. So if you can just head over to Pan African Film Festival, I just sent over the press release so you can copy it and paste it. You can get in touch with us because we also have an Oscar event where we're going to be bestowing the inaugural Juanita Moore Legacy Award to a very worthy community or actor, actress participant. So thank you.
Awesome. Renee, I know they're pumping hard on the ERC. Y'all, she's been talking for the last 8 months about getting money back if you had employees during the pandemic. So Renee, you wanna talk about the ERC? Take yourself off mute. Mute. You're muted.
Crystal, for a minute.
Good morning, everybody. And so I work with employee retention credit and with the ERC. I've talked to several of you before, but we are still providing money for businesses that suffered during the pandemic. Qualifications are 1 to 500 W-2 full-time employees. So I heard Colette say something about 1 to 5. We cover them too. So a number from 1 to 500. and they have to have been impacted by the pandemic, either with loss of revenues. You don't have to have all of them, but loss of revenues, also partial or full closure. And the last one is supply chain disruption. So anything that was designated for your business that you need to operate it with, you couldn't get it from any vendor, they pay for that. Or you get money for that. And the money is up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. So they're getting paid for the government. IRS is bolstering those businesses that suffered, but they're paying also stimulus money for the problems that they had. So I haven't put my number in the chat. I did reach out to Colette and to Tina, but I'll put it in there. Has anybody got a need for us?
Don't count yourself out here. This is huge opportunity. My husband has just gone back with his business on this. And initially, some of the things said no, but with additional deeper review, there's a yes for additional money for this tax credit. So I encourage you, if you have those employees, if you got PPP, you could certainly most likely be eligible. So please see Renee in this area.
Let me say this one thing. If you have PPP, you are eligible. If you got EIDL, you're eligible. What happens with the PPP is they call it double dipping. So we can't give you money that you've already received for your employees. So they deduct the PPP from that. And my job is for our clients not to leave any money on the table. The money for your for employees that you already had, your payroll taxes, they're going to be refunded. That's money it's already belonging to the people that are applying. And then the other stimulus money is in addition to that. So call us and call me. I'll put it in the chat.
Put your information in the chat, Stephen, and then we're going to have Pastor Smart close us out. Stephen?
And nonprofit and for-profit. When you just mentioned Pastor, I thought about that. So businesses for-profit and nonprofit as well. Okay, thank you.
Renee, great information. You know, people like Renee, the caliber of guests, makes the community briefing what it is. Also, we're fortunate one of our guests is Jonathan Wilson, who fresh off the press 17 hours ago, he's been highlighted in the Beverly Hills News as one of the outstanding Black businesses in West Hollywood. Jonathan, applause to you. Also, with the historic rain that we've had and climate change, what are we doing with all this water? Next week, during Black History Month, we have Edward Simon from California American Water. He's not only going to talk about climate change, but also business opportunity in the water field. And lastly, if you're not subscribing to our YouTube channel, please do.
Awesome. I certainly would like to donate. I will send you, I'll send you my information so you can make that happen. I'll put that in the chat right now. And then why I am doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And while we're on that, you guys, please, everyone on this call today, please go over, if you have not done so already, I'll put the chat link in the chat. Go over to the community business briefing on YouTube and please click the subscribe button. It is so important. We want to monetize this channel, and the only way we can do that is through you guys supporting us with the numbers. So we need at least to have 100 to get our own link, customized link, and then we're going to need 1,000 to start to customize and monetize for YouTube. But there are some other ways. So we are looking forward to really making sure that this platform can support itself. And we can do that with your sponsorship. We want to be here to be the voice of our community. My aspiration is for this to be the NPR of Black America, not just in this community. And I need y'all's help to make that happen. We don't want their story. We want our story. It's so important. We have our story. Vicki, Dr. Mays, I don't think there's anything critical right now, but can we have you back next week to talk? Because we're going to have Pastor Smart just take us out and get us ready for this beautiful month and keep us connected for the rest of the year as Black folks. Go ahead, Pastor. And I'm going to put the links in the chat.
Lord, we stop and we thank you for this time together. This is a very crucial time for people of color. And so we ask that you will endow us with your mercy and your blessings. Help us to work together. Help us to accomplish together. Help us to build together. Help us to overcome together. Help us to build wealth together, build capital together. Help us to build love together. Help us to build unity together. Help us to be together. In thy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, guys, here is the community briefing. Go over there. Did it come up? Oh, wait, no, I went to Ashley. Hold on 1 second, guys, before you all run off. Here is the community briefing. Well, it didn't hold on. What happened? Okay.
Yes, I didn't get it. I haven't
No,
received
it didn't go because it didn't go right. All right, there we go. Go over there and subscribe for me, please, guys. And then Asali, I may not be pronouncing your name, but here is
Asali.
Asali.
Yeah.
There you go. There is my email address, my phone number, and you can call me, and then I will
Watching the replay.
and then I'll give you my address.
You can also go to the communitybriefing.com and you can get information on past shows, upcoming shows, and there is an opportunity for you to make a donation to support the cause. No donation is too small, and according to Stephen, no donation is too large.
Awesome show today, right, guys? Oh my God! Now are you guys ready to go out there and just be? I love Ted's words. Ted, that's the shirt I wore yesterday. I am unapologetically Black, not just this month, but 365 days a year. I hope you guys are as well. I wore my shirt on Saturday when I went to Supervisor Holly Mitchell's racial justice, and I wore it all day. No matter where I was, I am unapologetically Black, and I am proud of it. And I am proud I want to take our community to that next level. And we have to take our community to that next level. And I want to thank you guys all for being here. Come back next week. Tell everyone you know this is the place to be every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. because we have some amazing people coming and sharing themselves with us, taking out of their busy schedules. And yes, Black Power, guys, Black Power. I like so thank you. So y'all got some assignments next week. You got to report back to me. And those of you that's supposed to connect with each other, y'all got to report and be accountable next week as well. I'll be checking. You guys have a great week and a great day. And I'll see you, Tina. I'm coming out to see your documentary. And Jessica, yes, just laugh away and go apply for some money, guys. Make sure you apply for some money.
Amen. Amen.
All right.
See me too. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Crystal?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I have to get you when I can.
Yes.
But
Yeah, that's true.
Stop the recording.
I can.
Oh, wait.
Hold on, Tina.
Let me stop recording and live.